Hello and welcome to AP Football Analysis. This is my review of the Liverpool Arsenal match in the Premier League. And what can I say? It was a pretty terrible game from Arsenal. Liverpool played really, really well. And this is one of the things I was concerned about. I did think it was going to be a draw. I thought we were going to see an Arsenal that we're going to want to cling on to fourth because, we always want top four. And when top four is threatened, that's when I think Arsene tends to make changes, but he put Alexis Sanchez on the bench and put Welbeck and Giroud up front, and before we put Alexis on, we were 2-0 down, and that was really all she wrote. We were already in a bad situation. Alexis come on, and then he provides Danny Welbeck for a very nice goal, and we're sort of sitting there wondering what happened all game. Why couldn't that happen before? Our defence was shocking tonight. Petr Cech was very bad. He made a couple of solid saves, but overall he was bad, and our defence was bad. I was looking at the line, the defensive line, for that first goal that Roberto Firmino put in, and we were all over the shop. We just let them in. We let them play funny buggers out on the left, and then shit it in. We shit it in, and they passed it across the box. And Firmino got a pretty easy goal in on his right foot and straight into the top left corner. But that was indicative of our game, and in a way, that's indicative of our season. This game was probably the best game to showcase or to present to people what Arsenal has been like this season. Is a key example of why we are the way we are and why we are where we are. Because we have moments of brilliance and moments of solid play, and then we just let it all go downhill in the defence, and the midfielders don't support. People playing up forward don't take their chances. We aren't organised. We aren't cohesive. We're not a proper team. I thought it was all going to change today. I really did. I went in sort of half optimistic. I thought it was going to be a draw. I thought it was going to be 2-2 because we're both high scoring. But at the end of the day, I wasn't really surprised. When the final whistle went, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't sitting there going, oh, well, we just got beaten 3-1. This is a massive shock. I never saw this coming. In fact, I would expect more for Arsenal to lose 3-1 than for us to beat Liverpool 3-1 at Anfield. Not only did Liverpool have a point to prove after Leicester, but we've just been lacklustre for months. Ever since the Man City and Everton losses a couple months ago, we've been horrible. We really have. Now, I'm not going to sit here and shit on Arsene Wenger. He made a couple of mistakes, just simple mistakes in his team selection. I think Alexis should always start. When he's fit, when he's healthy, he should always start, whether that be on the left or whether that be up front. And you can interchange Giroud or Danny Welbeck in that striking position if you want to chuck Alexis on the left. If you want to perform crosses and have a strong head in there. But you should always start Alexis. Alexis is our number one player. Absolutely. And I'm not going to get too much into ratings because I think overall our team just looked lackluster. We just looked lackluster. There isn't too much to write home about this game. I think this is one that we're not going to be, wanting to look back on too much. I think all I can say from this is that I think we need to just keep going and keep together as a team. I don't want the team to drop their heads completely. I don't want players to sit there and go, well, our season's done, so there's no point trying. I was watching Arsenal Fan TV, and while I like some of the opinions on there and some of what they say is quality, they're saying that they're not happy with fourth. They don't want fourth. And look, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm happy with fourth either, but I want fourth more than fifth or sixth. because fourth means that we get to go in the Champions League again next year, and it gives us a chance to, add silverware. And any chance that you can have to add silverware that's dependent on the previous season and performing to a certain level, I'm happy with. Or I'm more happy with that than I would be the alternative, which is not playing Champions League. So when those players sit there and say, oh, well, screw fourth, I'm sitting there going, no, not screw fourth. If we can get fourth, then great. Not fantastic, but, then good. If we can get fourth and the alternative is fifth, go for fourth. Get as high as you possibly can. It's a defeatist mentality when you sit there and pretty much give up and say, screw it. What's the point of even bothering? There's also massive rhetoric around Arsene Wenger going. I've spoken about this a couple times in my videos. But I think, I don't know. I really don't know what to think about Arsene Wenger. Just yesterday, I made a preview video and said, a couple of days ago, I made a video about where Arsenal's at as a football club. And I said that I'm willing to give Arsene probably another year to, convince me that he's still got what it takes. When he makes decisions like not starting Alexis, it really makes me wonder, because Alexis, like the rest of the Arsenal squad, hasn't played for a couple of weeks, and you're up against Liverpool, a team vying for top four, a team that is relative quality, a team that is, for all intents and purposes, on a similar level to you, and you don't put your best player in, especially when there's a lot on the line like Champions League. So, I just really don't understand the logic behind that. And it's decisions like that, I think, which polarize the Arsenal fans. I think, a few of the guys on Arsenal Fan TV in particular who are Wenger out sit there and say, well, it's not the fact that we lose necessarily. It's the fact that we don't really give ourselves a chance to begin with our selections. And then when we go on the pitch, we don't look like we even give a shit. Which is something that I saw tonight. Didn't seem like we even cared. That third goal, the counter-attack, just the defenders didn't even seem to care. I know they tracked back as well as they could, but you're pushing that higher line. You've got Liverpool's attacking presence, and Wijnaldum's able to get down there and score a goal. You've got to do better man marking than that, and it was just cataclysmic. I don't know where we go from here. We play Bayern Munich midweek, and there's every chance. I think ESPN ranked it like a 99-1 chance that Bayern were going to go through, and Arsenal were going to get kicked out of Champions League. And you can't really argue with those stats. I don't think we're going to beat Bayern 4-0 or better. I think that we are going to be crushing out, and we're going to be crashing out of that. And it presents us a bit of a conundrum in the Premier League, considering we're not even in the top four now. So people can't even make the Arsenal 4 jokes because we're not even there. So we're in a bit of a crisis at the moment. We've still got FA Cup, and I know some people called it, shit compared to the Premier League and the Champions League, but I'd still take the FA Cup over not having the FA Cup, for example. I'm pretty half glass full when it comes to those sorts of things. Would I love to win the Champions League more than anything? That's the number one goal. Premier League, yep, we haven't won it in 14 years, 13 years. And that's what we need. We need the Premier League as well. We're a club that should be winning domestically. But the FA Cup is a good competition to win. In no way or form should it be a substitute or viewed equally as a Champions League or a Premier League, but at the same time, it's silverware, and it's something which showcases our performance in a given competition. So if we deserve to win it, if we win it, we deserve to win it, and we can put that stuff proudly in our trophy room. So look, I really don't know what to say at the moment. It's not a good situation for our club. The board is obviously in a sticky situation because they need to make the right decisions. And I think that now that we're not in the top four, the board's going to be pretty pissed off about all that, because I think that the board, that's their baseline. Their baseline is fourth. I don't think the board is happy with fourth, in the sense that I don't think that that's all they care about. Like, a few people suggest that, few people sit there and go, oh, well, Kroenke, all he cares about is fourth, or whatever. Or Gazidis, all he cares about is fourth. I don't really think that. I think that fourth is like the baseline which Arsenal can achieve, to say, okay, you get sort of just a pass, a satisfactory mark. I think everyone wants Arsenal to win. The board wants Arsenal to win. But if we finish fourth and we get Champions League and we get that revenue and whatever else, they're sort of okay with that. If we get below that, that's obviously a disaster for them and whatever else. So that's where we're at right now. We're not doing well in the Premier League. We're not doing well in the Champions League. We're alive in the FA Cup. But overall, it's a pretty somber mood right now for most Arsenal fans. We're not terribly happy with the way things are going. I think for the next game, I just want to see Arsenal put in a hell of a performance. And that's been our challenge. When things have gone against us, we've capitulated. That's what happened against Bayern a couple of weeks ago. We've dropped our heads when things have looked bleak, and we can't do that. A winning team, a championship team, whatever, a team with guts and gumption and passion gets in there and digs deep for 90 minutes, regardless. There's none of this Mesut Ozil dropping his head and having a sulk about things. This is a true testament to the players' will to keep going and keep heading forward. Is that even though we're 5-1 down in the Champions League, you just keep going because you have to. You have to. So what I want to see, I don't really expect Arsenal to get through, but what I want is like a 2 or 3-0 win. If we want to push and see if we can do the miraculous, then fantastic, and I'd be more happy than anyone if we manage to beat Bayern by the requisite amount and get through to the next stage of the Champions League. But I think my most important thing for Arsenal, the thing I want most, is for the boys to come out and just go hammer and tong at these guys at Bayern and just try to just show Arsenal that they still care. That's what we want. We want the guys to show us that they care about the club and they care about their careers and they care about the game. Football's taken a bit of a trajectory away from passion and care, and it's become a marketplace where players are valued on a dollar amount, not on their intrinsic qualities, and players are a bit more concerned with a weekly haircut and the latest and greatest Ferrari than showing loyalty on the pitch. We've seen that. This is not a new thing. This is something that's been happening over the past 20 years. So that's an issue we find ourselves in. We just want them to show that they care. We go into Bayern midweek trying to gain a little bit of respect back for ourselves, and I hope that we can. It's been a disappointing day. Been a very disappointing match. But I hope, for Arsenal's sake, that the guys put this behind them and show that they still care by coming out and putting in a hell of a performance against Bayern midweek. Alright, thanks very much for watching this video, guys. I know it was a little bit of a disappointing one because of the result, but if you did like this video, like it and also subscribe and come back for the next installment on AP Football Analysis. Thanks very much for watching, guys. See you later.